Exciting day today as Aaron, Nnaemeka and Brian have all signed first team contracts. How proud are you to see the boys from your EDS squad making that jump into the first team?
Yeah, look, I'm obviously really pleased. They obviously go and join Balu. Obviously we kind of announced early doors. The three of them come from sort of different backgrounds, different playing backgrounds, different clubs, and to sort of throw them together and hopefully develop and sort of broaden their horizon in the sense of something that they're not normally used to, in terms of Aaron coming out of Reading and coming into non-league, and Brian and Nnaemeka stepping up into a higher level and things like that. It's been a real challenging year, but a real developmental year for them. So look, it's a massive credit to them. There's been some really highs, there's been some lows with them, but as we all know, development and progression in football is never just a straight line. There's lots of corners that you've got to turn that ultimately aren't always good ones. And I think from the bad experience that they've had at times this year, it's actually moulded them into the player that they are now currently. And there's been failure as part of that, and I think that's been really crucial to their development over the course of the year. But look, credit to them. Today's not just the first day of it all. They've gone out, they've played, they've made their debuts, they've started games, they've come on in games, they've made a real impact with Scotty. And look, I think they can hold their head high, and it's a carrot for the rest of the boys in the EDS that are coming in next year, or boys that are staying on to be with us again next year, is something that they can go on and achieve. And the thing that I like the most is, as I said, they all come from a different sort of footballing background. So what it does say is, ultimately you can come from lower levels, you can come from higher levels, but it doesn't mean that you're in the wrong place. It's the right place for you, provided you get your head down, knuckle down like they have, and you get your rewards from that.
So as the head coach of the EDS squad, you've ever seen their development from when they came in at the start of the year to this point now, signing that contract.
Yeah.
How pleasing has it been to see how much they've changed since when they first came into the club to now obviously signing their contracts?
Yeah, look, it's my job, right? It's mine and Adam's job is to ultimately develop these players to progress into Scotty's first team and beyond that, hopefully, either with the first team or, they do so well with us that we can help them move on in their careers. But I think the credit's got to go to them. It's easy for them. They can turn up every single day and they can just look to turn up, train and go home. They've got to be sort of leadable, teachable, coachable, as it were. And look, all three of them have been. And that's why I think they made great strides in their development over the course of the year. And I think, look, again, there's times where, it clashes because emotions and their age and that come a part and parcel of it. But again, it's the good thing for me is when those moments have happened, they've been mature enough and willing to come and ask the questions and sort of have them conversations in maybe a more calmer environment than the training pitch. And as I said, mate, the credit goes to them. I'm just here to facilitate them, so is Adam, and we're here to help them on their journey, but ultimately they're the ones that have got to implement everything that we say.
You touched on it a little bit there, but obviously as the EDS head coach, how great of an advert is it for this system that there's now a clear pathway, as proven by these three, as well as Ryan North and other players like that, that for players who do come in next to succeed these players, there's a clear pathway into the first team?
Yeah, look, I've said it before in previous interviews, like I think we've had 10 boys make their debuts this year. We probably had over 14 go in and train with the first team. We've had numerous go out and play senior football. We've got big plans coming next year to enhance what we already have. So look, for me, I don't want to be part of something that isn't done properly, and that's the good thing that myself, Ash, Scotty, everyone at the club are all aligned. We want to make sure that we've got the most professional and elite environment that we possibly can have. Obviously, there's always restrictions, we know that, but with the capabilities that we have got, we want to work to the best of our ability, and we want to work with good players, and we want to work with players that want to come in and learn. And I think what we've proven this year is that if you come in with the right attitude, the right mindset, with a willingness to learn, and implement the things that we've said, then there's a real opportunity here. Now, those opportunities aren't for everybody. Those opportunities aren't token gestures. These boys have earned their contracts. These boys have earned their deals in the first team. And we're in the habit of presenting these opportunities. But as I've mentioned, the boys have to work and they have to deserve and warrant them. And as I said, these boys have in Aaron, Brian, Nnaemeka and obviously Balu previously.